Hello there! Thank you for clicking on this video. So I'm still continuing to search for interesting decks that showed up in tournaments while I learn best of 3. And I think I'm getting a little bit better. I'm getting the hang of things. And this is a deck that showed up in a smaller tournament in Japan. It made top 8, so it's not like a winning deck or anything, but it was interesting. I thought it was an interesting take on the Selesnya Collector's Cage deck. And for those of you unaware, Collector's Cage is a 2-mana artifact with Hideaway 5. That is, when this permanent enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, then put the rest in the bottom in a random order. And then for 1 in a tap, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So I played a similar deck in Best of 1 before, and I really enjoy the Collector's Cage deck. Typically you want turn 1 Llanowar Elves, and then all your creatures, you want like a 2-for-1, right? So Paul Patch Recruit for 3 mana. You can play this with Offspring. You have 3 mana Sandstorm Salvager. When it enters the battlefield, creates a 3/3 Golem. Sanguine Evangelist, when it comes into play, creates a 1/1 Flying Bat. Basically, all these creatures makes another creature. And then in your 2-drop slot, you have Voice of Victory, which has Mobilize 2. So when you attack in, you create 2 1/1 warrior tokens, but you sacrifice them at the end of your turn, so they don't stick around. Essentially, if you can get any of these down on turn 2 and on turn 3, you can play Collector's Cage and still have 1 mana available to pump up one of your creatures and hopefully trigger Collector's Cage. And then you can get like a, I don't know, an Ouroboroid or Overlord of the Mistmoors, Elspeth Stormslayer, Brightglass Gearhulk, and Beza the Bounding Springs. Those are your creatures you kind of want to hit with Collector's Cage. For new cards, we have the Ouroboroid. It's the only new card. It's a 4-mana 1/3, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power. Since this whole deck is trying to go wide, Ouroboroid I think is a great addition to this deck. You play Ouroboroid and just start pumping up all your creatures. And Ouroboroid is one of those creatures that, if left unanswered, will take over the game. For the sideboard, we have 2 copies of Devout Decree. It's a 2-mana sorcery that says exile target creature or planeswalker that's black or red. So this card definitely comes in on specific matchups. I'm looking at VV Cauldron there. A lot of their creatures are red. Then we have another copy of Get Lost. There's 2 copies in the main board and then the 3rd one in the sideboard. I'm not a big fan of Get Lost, but I understand you need instant speed removal sometimes, and I don't know, I guess there's not a lot of good choices. Rest in Peace for Graveyard Hate. Sheltered by Ghosts, you have 1 copy in the main board and 1 in the sideboard. It's a pretty good removal when it sticks, but it's a huge blowout if your creature gets removed. We have 2 copies of Heritage Reclamation. It's a great card. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or you can exile a card from a graveyard and draw a card. It does really well against the VV Cauldron deck. Aven Interrupter, 3-mana 2/2 with flash, flying, and when this creature enters, exile target spell. It becomes plotted. Spells your opponents cast from graveyards or from exile cost 2 more to cast. I'm not really sure which matchup this card is supposed to come in for, but it's a great tempo card in a tempo deck. Clarion Conqueror, 1 copy. It's a 3-mana 3/3 with flying. Activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. So I'm pretty sure this is for the VV Cauldron deck. But just remember, I forgot while playing, is if you play Clarion Conqueror, that turns off your Llanowar Elves and your Collector's Cage. So it's a bit of a nombo there. We have 2 copies of Kutzil Flanker, and then 1 split up, I guess, I don't know, something like the Mirror Match, another deck that's trying to go wide. And finally, 1 copy of Surak Elusive Hunter, I think is a great card. It's 3 mana for a 4/3 that can't be countered, has trample, and whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. So between Paul Patch Recruit and Surak Elusive Hunter, makes it very difficult for your opponent to target things. Oh, I just realized my face was kind of in the way of all of that. I'm not going to re-record that, so I apologize. You still can see like the individual cards, right? Yeah, okay. Anyways, that's all I have for this deck. So without any further ado, let's see if Selesnya Cage can get any wins in on the ladder. Best of 3 standard. Here we go. All right, trying out Selesnya Cage in best of 3. This deck came in, top 4. And going first is always a good thing. Oof. It's a bit of a tough... Alright, we can do tap land turn 1, and Voice of Victory turn 2, but not being able to play Land of War Elves turn 1 is a bit tough. I'm gonna keep this. It's not the best draw, but I think I'm gonna go turn 2 Land of War Elves. Unless we draw the 3rd land, in which case I might go Voice of Victory. So it depends on what our opponent is playing. Could be Is It Cauldron? Seems like Is It Cauldron? So yeah, I think here we have to go Land of War Elves. To land, I think we go ahead and seam rip the Mako. It can get out of hand pretty quick. Opponent plays Fire Magic. And another Mako. Got my 3rd land. I think here, playing Paw Patch Recruit with Offspring is a good idea. So, Vivi Cauldron doesn't play a whole lot of instant speed magic, so I don't know. Voice of Victory probably won't have too big of an effect. Elspeth Stormslayer does not take care of the Mako, but it does get rid of Vivi. I'm gonna go with no blocks here. Oof, this is tough. I'm gonna go with the Sandstorm Salvager. They could make the Moderating Mako larger, in which case we won't have a very good block. But Sandstorm Salvager also pumps up all my token creatures. I get the Soul Cauldron. I don't have any creatures in the graveyard yet. Oh, I guess I had a creature. And now they can tap for mana? That's not cool. How much mana is this? 3? 2? 2 mana? I guess we just continue to go wide. Alright, so I need it. I need more lands. Yeah. Okay, they tap for Winter Night Stories. They tap down their Mako as well. We'd use a little bit more removal, but aha. Opponent is playing a lot of removal on their main board. I think that's pretty much game. So I'm just not gonna play this anymore. I mean, they had everything they needed against our deck. Let's see here. Rest in peace. Split up. I don't know if Aven Interrupter's any good with this. Devout Decree takes care of black and red creatures, so I'm adding in there for Vivi and their other red creatures. If they're playing a bunch of fire magic, I don't know if Collector's Cage is going to do it. I don't think Elspeth is going to do it either. I don't think Sheltered by Ghosts is going to be very good either. They don't really target either, do they? Heritage Reclamation. I guess, yeah, we need that in there too. So usually, if I'm on the play, I like to go a little bit more aggressive, but I don't know, up against Vivi, not so sure. I have not had a lot of luck with my opening hands with this deck when I was... Come on. I don't know. This is just bad. Just bad all around. Yeah, I think we play the Paul Patch Recruit now. If we can find untapped mana. Opponent. Oh, okay, well. That could help. If opponent's not drawing any lands, that definitely helps. Yep. So it's important to keep a playable hand. Do we just run this back? Maybe instead of Overlord of the Mistmoors, we get the Aven Interrupters in there. I don't know. I'm not sure what matchup the Aven Interrupters are for. Maybe it was for control, but I'm going to try it out just to see if it does anything against this deck. Vivi. I don't think it does. We shall see. Got a decent opening hand. Though opponent's already off to a good start. It will pass the turn. And see, okay, Teresa, line, okay. See if they discard a creature. They discard nothing, okay. In that case, I think it's just that. Yes, we do take 1 extra damage, but drew enough removal. think I'm just going to interrupt fear of missing out. Wow. Yeah, that's not good for us. Now I draw the removal and lands. That's great stuff there. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we need to get rid of the VV. Yeah. Then we will destroy target artifact. Split up. Okay. Just take the damage. Not good. Not good. It's a lot of damage. Alright, let's just exile a card, draw a card, exile creatures. Okay, destroy all tapped creatures. And I'm just gonna go for this. See, opponent drew a land. I'm gonna put a Soul Cauldron. I have something. Okay. Well, glad they did it there. Hopefully they don't have another fire magic. All right, let's see here. How do I go? Full control. Full control. Okay, so it doesn't seem like they have anything. And I think all attack. Okay, they do have something. No? This is lethal. I guess it could be Agatha's Soul Cauldron. I forgot they had that, so that holds up priority. Maybe this is a win? I don't know. If the opponent is slow rolling, I mean, that's a pretty wicked slow roll. We shall see. And that's it. Yep. Okay. Whew. I wasn't expecting to pull a win off of that one. I swear, I feel kind of awkward sometimes when I'm trying to fill up these empty spaces with interesting things to talk about, but like I'm also trying to think about the game, which makes it very difficult on the play, which is great. One-lander, which is bad. Mulligan. This is better. But yeah, it definitely does make it a little bit more awkward. Between Overlord and Beza, which do you think is better? I think Beza, I mean, I don't even know what I'm up against, but yeah, I'll go like that. I can go turn to Voice of Victory. Opponent mulligans. I'm just going to play my planes and pass the turn. Okay, this again. In this case, is playing Voice of Victory worth it? Yeah, I'm going to play Voice of Victory first. Most likely turn 2, we're going to play Agatha's Soul Cauldron, okay. Seamrip could get rid of Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Really needed land there, but I'm gonna try and be a bit more aggressive. Do I hold on to Get Lost? I think I hold on to Get Lost, actually. See what the opponent does. Tersa Light Shatter, okay. Okay. I think in this case, just go ahead and get lost to Tersa. Take 4, because they're probably going to use Agatha's Soul Cauldron on Mako. Then we can Seam Rip the Mako next turn. We get untapped land, we can Seam Rip and Collector's Cage. Yep. Yep. Yep, we take 4. Land. It's kind of a land. Okay. When we do this. We do this. Get rid of the Mako. And really could use a land, but see what the opponent drew. Oh, that's unfortunate. Really use some lands. Alright, another Mako. starting town. Unfortunately, it comes in tapped. Alright, well, this is all I got. In this case, do I want Elspeth under here? Could get lost. I guess a get lost. Pass a turn. Okay, opponent takes one of our get lost. Oh, land. Quantum Riddler, Jesus. Yeah, that's really good value on their part. If I play Beza, sorry, I was thinking, if I play Beza, if I attack him with the Llanowar Elves, they block. Llanowar Elves dies. I play Beza, I make 1/1s. I can pump up one of the 1/1, get lost. No, I can't pump it up because I don't have the mana. Okay, so I have no way of doing it anyway. Well, in that case, I'll do this. And pass the turn. Yeah. But there's a chance that their deck can go off now. They have 4 cards in hand. Maybe I should have played Beza for a card draw. Oof. Okay, they're starting to get their good creatures. As long as they don't play Prof's... What's it called? That enchantment that puts +1/+1 counters on them. I attack him with the Quantum Riddler. I assume. Night Stories. Never mind. I tap down Quantum Riddler. They might be looking for a VV. No VV. Cast. Oh, really? I mean, I'll take the double block. Ooh, they don't have anything. We'll just put the +1/+1 counter there. It seems like they have some kind of removal. Okay, they had a Torture Tower. So we need untap mana. Okay. Oof. Okay. Seems like they have another torch. Alright, that's what we really didn't want. Right. See if they do anything else. All right. Oh, no, not what I meant to do. Put it right there. Auto pay. Okay, that's what's dangerous, but unfortunately, still in a bad spot. Yeah, they got Vivi. Yeah. All right. So let's get out of here. All right. Rest in peace. To file decree. Heritage reclamation. I don't think we need these. Oh, Clarion Conqueror. I forgot about Clarion Conqueror. I should have been putting this in my last game. Yeah. I think... I don't know. Something like this. And hopefully we get a good starting hand. Play... Yeah, this is a good starting hand. Right? Because the would play Llanowar Elves, then play Clarion Conqueror, or do I start with a tap land? No. The mission's good. Go with Clarion Conqueror. If you're missing out, draw this card. All right, let's see here. Do we attack in? Yeah. No attacks. And then play Voice of the Victory. Why can I not play Ouroboroid? Right. Clarion Conqueror also cancels out my Llanowar Elves. I forgot about that. Okay. Give up Heritage Reclamation, maybe? Now, let's just go wide. Opponent's hurting on blue mana, looks like. Okay. Weird. Okay, so just like my last game, second game, opponent has mana troubles, and Stop leaving. I left in sheltered by ghosts. I think I can get rid of that. Do we need more get losts? Do I just do 2 collector's cage and hope for kind of a similar game as the last one? See, we'll see. Doing it the opposite. I'm being more aggressive on my when I'm on the draw. Man, Restless Prairie, my opening hand each time. Well, I guess I'll keep it. I think I'm going to start off with Restless Prairie, then turn 2 we can do Line of War Elves into Seamrip. If they play turn 1 Mako. Mako. I keep saying Mako, but I think it's pronounced Mako. They don't do it. Alright. You're missing out. Okay. Rest in Peace is nice. Alright. No fear of missing out. Quantum Riddler, okay. Draw a card. So we could just go for the Ouroboroid this turn. While they're tapped out. Next turn, Paul Patrick Group and Line of War Elves. I'm pretty sure they do not have... Okay. They had a pretty good turn, game 1, and then games 2 and 3, it just fell apart. Alright, match number 3. See if we can go 3-0. On the draw against Smokin' Bacon. And they're about to rank up. See if we can do something about that. We got removal, Sandstorm Salvager turn 3, Ouroboroid turn 4. Miss Morris. Okay, it's a bit slow. Would love to have a Line of War Elves here. Guess we'll just start with the forest. And is everybody just playing VV Cauldron now in gold? Is that what's going on here? I guess we just hold up Get Lost. We could play Collector's Cage, but we don't really have a way to turn it on. Though we could play it. Next turn, Sandstorm Salvager into Ouroboroid. Doesn't do much. Okay, yeah. So let's just keep the Get Lost. Okay, opponent plays Fear of Missing Out. Okay. I'll just get rid of the Mako. This is the difficult thing about when you're going up against this deck, is when they get all their creatures are threats, so makes it very difficult to kind of assess what needs to be done. We can Seam Rip one of the Missing Out and then play Collector's Cage, or just go for Sandstorm Salvager, have a 3/3 blocker. I also played the wrong land. I meant to play Starting Town, so unfortunately, could have played Ouroboroid next turn, but I'm an idiot. So we'll see. They could have their a bounce spell to bounce the token, in which case I will have no good blocks. If we draw untap land, we could draw Ouroboroid. Also, Get Lost doesn't go well with this deck because they play crap, what is that instant? Does 2 damage if you sacrifice creature or sacrifice artifact or token, does 4 or 3. Wow, I just screwed all that up. Trying to think and talk at the same time is not my thing, I guess. All right. Yeah, I can't do both Collector's Cage and Seam Rip. Yeah, okay. I think this is the answer. And I'm not gonna attack in yet. I'm gonna hold up blockers. I can activate the Sandstorm Salvenger, pump up the token creature. VV, okay. I don't have anything else. Yep, torch the tower. Okay. Alright, I could just go for Bright Glass Gear Hulk. Seam Rip doesn't get rid of VV Orner. Could go for the Mistmoors. Collector's Cage and Voice of Victory. This is all very... Alright, going for Bright Glass Gear Hulk. Seam Rip. Ball Patch Recruit. No attacks. And let's see what they got. 4/4 first strike with trample is pretty good blocker. Okay, they draw 3 cards, discard 2. Discard Draconautics Engineer. Dang, I got those Soul Cauldron. Alright, so if they want to activate VV's thing. Okay. Make 4 mana. Play the Mako. They play out their hand. Kiora. Okay, Kiora is a kind of an interesting one. Do I block? No blocks. All right. I need to find... I could Seam Rip Agatha's Soul Cauldron. and play Pulp Patch Recruit, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Yeah. Let's go with that. No attacks. Okay. Turret's a light shatter. They can discard land. Feels like they don't have much else in their hand. Yeah, okay, so they go all out attack. Moving untap. I mean, yeah, okay. Just gonna get out of here. I guess the same as always. Rest in peace. Devout Decree. Clarion Conqueror. Heritage Reclamation. No Elspeth Stormslayer. Maybe go down one of these. Want to keep Ouroboroid. Okay. I don't think Bright Glass Gearhulk is right. We don't have too many hits that does enough. Sheltered by Ghost. I think it's get rid of Sheltered by Ghost. Let's see. Torch the tower. Yeah, that's what I meant. Torch the tower. Maybe Surak. I think go down on Collector's Cage. I mean, they did have a lot of creatures. Maybe the flanker? One cheeky flanker? Trying to think of like how they would sideboard in cards. Probably a little bit more removal. Two tap lands. Come on, Restless Prairie, I swear. I swear. Alright. Keep this. Alright. Get the Voice of Victory down. I have the Soul Collision, okay. Yeah, okay. Do I tap out All Patch Recruit? I think so. Next turn, tap land, keep up, get lost. Use Devout Decree on one of their creatures, unless it's blue. Okay. Okay, they already got a VV under their Agatha Soul Cauldron. That's fun. So they have another 4 mana they can deal with. That was pretty quick. So this opponent has a better game 2 plan than the other 2 opponents. Okay, they make 4 mana. That's 5 damage to target. Draw a card, then discard a pair. Okay, well, is it better just to pump up 1 creature? They might have another... Yeah, they have another removal, I think. So whatever removal they play, yeah, we'll pump up the other creature. Seamer. Okay, well. Dang. Alright, well. Let's just get rid of them all now. I need to get rid of Agatha's Soul Cauldron because it has VV under it. And the next turn we can get Overlord and Miss Moore's down. Like I said, they definitely went up on number of removal. Pretty sure. Okay, Devout Decree can take care of Tersa Light Shatter. Do I need to? I think just go ahead and get aggressive. Could be a mistake. They don't have any good creatures. I have one. Just gonna keep adding it there. No blocks. And I think that's game, right? Yep. All right. On to game 3. I think we just keep the hand we had. Do I need to go up on anything else? Go down on anything else? I think this was good. Yeah. Smoking Bacon, the Untouchable. I need to look into how you get some of these other titles untouchable. I know there's a lot of achievements. I don't keep up with which achievement is which title, so I was just curious. All right, on the draw with a. Is this a keepable hand? Is this a keepable hand? Sure. Let's keep it. Turn 2 Voice of Victory into Surak. Might even have a turn 1 Lana War Elves. Yay. Then we can do turn 2 Surak instead. That's kind of painful, but... Or do we do the responsible thing and just get rid of Prof's edict? Prof's eidetic memory. I want to go for Surak here. Vivi. Another starting town. Okay. Alright, Voice of Victory. We could just get rid of Vivi Ornator now, or... Yeah. I think that needs to get rid... We need to get rid of it now. Okay, we're gonna take a big hit. But that's pretty much their whole turn. Yeah, no bucks. Okay. Look at this. All right. Maybe should have kept back one more blocker, but we'll see. Oh boy. Yeah, this time we didn't draw all the pieces we needed. Granted, as long as they don't kill off all of our creatures, should be fine. As long as we have blockers. As long as we have blockers, they can't attack in. There's a huge pause, so they're seeing what they can do. These are not good draws. Okay. But they don't Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I was gonna say they're tapped out, but yeah, they have. Okay, yeah. So, where's my? Oh, there it is. All right, yeah, you got me. All right, and there you have it, Selesnya Cage. It did all right. All three games against VV Cauldron, and I mean, it is the deck to beat, so I guess it's the best deck to face to see if this holds any water. And 2 out of 3 is not too bad. Though honestly, I feel like it was more our opponent lost than this deck won. I'm a little unsure about this deck. It feels, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm just used to best of 1, but I feel like for a Collector's Cage deck, it does not have a very good payoff. Granted, you don't want too many huge payoffs that you can't cast anyway, but for having 24 lands in here, I was having some land issues. Not having any of the white-green shock lands, I think hurts this deck a little bit more, especially if you're playing Bright Glass Gearhawk, granted only 1 copy, but makes it difficult to play Fountain Port and things like that, and play Bright Glass Gearhawk on turn 4, especially if you want to play Land of War Elves on turn 1, so you really want green on your turn 1, and then likelihood that you're going to be able to play Bright Glass Gearhawk on turn 3 with the Land of War Elves is pretty slim. But aside from that, I really like the Collector Cage shell of Paul Patch Recruit, Sandstorm, Salvenger, Sanguine Evangelist, and Ouroboroid. I also like Elspeth Stormslayer, though I really don't think this card is good against VV and Cauldron. As for the sideboard, Devout Decree, I don't know, I feel like instant speed removal is important, and I really don't like Get Lost. I feel like Get Lost just leads to too many losses. Your opponents can use the map tokens to pump up their creatures, find whatever lands they're looking for. I don't know, Get Lost, I'm not a big fan of. So with all that being said, I feel like this deck still needs a lot more work to be good. But I think the Ouroboroid is a great addition. I'm almost thinking you can go 4 copies and just get rid of Bright Glass Gearhawk. I don't know. That one of Beza and Bright Glass Gearhawk, you know, might be alright. But I think if you're gonna have Bright Glass Gearhawk in here, there's gotta be some other like 1 mana permanence that does something. I'll do a quick search. Alright, I'm back with just some ideas on 1 mana permanents or enchantment artifacts and creatures that might be a good addition to either the main board or sideboard if you have Bright Glass Gearhawk in here. I realize this is not a Gearhulk deck, it's more of a Collector's Cage deck, but I personally feel like if you're going to have even 1 copy of this in here, it might be a good idea to look into what 1 mana permanents there are. And Seam Rip, obviously already in the deck. It's a great way for an early game, but it only exiles permanents with mana value 2 or less, which does come in handy against Cauldron and Prophet's Edict, or yeah, whatever that enchantment's called. But another one is Dusk Rose Reliquary. I wouldn't put too many copies of it in here if you do, mainly because it has a extra cost of requiring to sacrifice an artifact or creature. But it is a 1 mana artifact that exiles any target artifact or creature an opponent controls. So might be worth having in the sideboard, maybe just 1 of. Another Authority of Consuls, maybe against a mono red hasty deck, having just 1 of these just to slow down your opponent might be worth it. A creature, Nurturing Pixie. This is in a lot of Gearhawk decks, and it works really well in best of 1 when you have a Gearhawk and Collector's Cage going. You can reset your Collector's Cage using Nurturing Pixie by picking it back up. You can even pick back the Gearhawk and cast it again, tutor up more 1-drops. Voyager Glidecar. I like this card, but it's probably not that good. But it's a 1 mana vehicle. It's a 2/3, and once the vehicle enters, you scry 1, and then you can either crew for 1, or you can tap 3 untapped creatures you control, and then this vehicle becomes an artifact creature and gains flying, and you put a +1/+1 counter on it. I like this vehicle, but You don't really see it too often. It's probably not good. I just threw it in here because I like it. Another one, Zac Fair. It's a creature that, legendary creature, 0/1, and it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. And then for 1, you sacrifice Zac Fair. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Put Zac Fair's counters on that creature and attach an equipment that was attached to Zac Fair to that creature. So I guess kind of as a +1/+1 counter synergy and also protection, Zac Fair might be an option. Now these 2 other cards, I definitely think that instead of Rest in Peace, Ghost Vacuum is much better. You can tutor it up with Bright Glass Gearhulk, and you don't need to exile everything in everyone's graveyard. You just need to have Ghost Vacuum up, and if your opponent plays Agatha's Soul Cauldron, and they try to exile, you know, a Vivi or any other creature, you just exile it with the vacuum first. Perfect, you know? And whereas, like, if you only have a Rest in Peace, you can't tutor it up with Bright Glass Gearhulk, and if you don't draw it, you're kind of screwed if you need to get rid of certain cards in a graveyard. But with Ghost Vacuum, I think is a better choice. The other similar thing is Soul Guide Lantern. I guess if there is any decks out there that uses the graveyard quite a bit and you really want to exile everything, Soul Guide Lantern is another option that you can tutor up with the Gearhulk. When this artifact enters, exile target card from a graveyard, and then you can sacrifice it to exile each opponent's graveyard. For 1 tap and sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. So those are my suggestions for upgrading this deck, mainly the sideboard. I would get rid of Rest in Peace and replace it with Ghost Vacuum, and maybe 1 Soul Guide Lantern. Don't know about the Aven Interrupters. Granted, I only went up against 1 type of deck today, so I haven't had a chance to maybe see what matchups the Aven Interrupter works against, but I didn't really see it doing a whole lot. Anyways, yeah, I talked way too much this time, so without any further ado, let's just get to the ending. I screwed that up. So if you stuck around this long, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next video. So until then, have fun playing Magic, and take care. Bye.